Now, what is the topic that I've chosen for this rant video? Well, I would like to respond to a person, a faceless person. I don't know whether they are male or female. Of course, it's just a avatar. It's just a picture on social media, responding to what somebody's writing. But they claim, he or she, they claim to be a follower of Louis Farrakhan in the Nation of Islam. They claim to be a member of the Nation of Islam. What brings me to this rant video is that during the conversation, and I brought up the nation of Liberia, and I am new to learning about the nation of Liberia. I just know like some of its basic origins or whatever. I have a video and there's materials that I have gotten. I'm trying to learn more about Liberia. But during the conversation, this person called Liberia a bastard nation. Oh, see, now that pissed me off. Number one, I want this faceless person and all of you who claim to be followers of Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, or the Nation of Islam in general. I don't know how y'all follow Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad is dead. Elijah Muhammad is nowhere around. You don't talk to Elijah Muhammad. I don't know how you following a dead man or a person that's missing. How do you follow a person that's missing? How do you follow a dead man? It boggles the mind. I don't know how you guys think, but many people say, I follow Elijah Muhammad. How do you follow a missing person? How do you follow a person that's clearly that's dead, have never been seen? I don't know how you do our thinking process is really it's warped. But you're making a claim, I am a member, I follow Elijah Muhammad, I am a member of the Nation of Islam. I want to remind you that whether or not you are a member of the Nation of Islam, you are a Hebrew Israelite, you are a member of the Black Power Cartel, you are a member of the House of Consciousness, wherever you come from, when you make this claim, you claim that you're Christian. Whenever you make this claim, you represent the Nation of Islam, you represent the Hebrew Israelites, you represent Christianity, you are a representative of that belief or that organization, whether you like it or not. That's how it goes. You are an example. You are a member. You are a representative of that belief or that organization. And so what comes out of your mouth eventually affects the organization, because people will say, well, I know somebody who is in the Nation of Islam and they said this. I know a Hebrew Israelite and the Hebrew Israelite said this. I know Christians and Christians do this and Christians do that and so forth. So when we make these claims that we do not own, you did not create the Nation of Islam, you did not create the Hebrew Israelite organization, you did not create Christianity. When we say things out of our mouth, if we really don't know, we should be quiet and let or allow an authorized representative direct a person to an authorized representative of that belief or organization and let them handle the conversation or the questions, because you don't qualify. You need to be quiet. You're making the organization look silly and stupid. There's too many various personal opinions. What is the official position of that organization or that belief system on this issue or such and such a topic? If you do not know it, it's best to be quiet. You make your organization and you make yourself look bad when they come the actual representatives, the authorities of that organization or that belief system, when they come behind behind you and say, that's not, that person is wrong. I don't, they don't know what they're talking about. They need to study more. So just to alleviate all that, just be quiet and let the big boys handle it. That's what I want. I want the big boys. I don't want y'all little faceless people that really don't, you just believe stuff because it feel good to you. I don't like talking with y'all anyway, because the only thing you're doing is repeating what you heard somebody say, or you listen to a tape or whatever, you read a book or whatever. Anyway, what pissed me off is that this person from the Nation of Islam called Liberia a bastard nation. Oh, America created Liberia and all this kind of good stuff. Oh, how? Let me explain something to you. Or maybe you don't know your own teachings, or you don't have common sense, or something here. First of all, Liberia was created at a time when a group of Caucasian people said, look, y'all can go to Africa and you can establish this colony and, you know, create your own nation. Or you can stay here and deal with our racism, however y'all want to do it. Of course, you and me, we are the descendants of those. Oh, that's all right, master. I don't want to go to Africa. Oh, I's American just like you. I don't want to go to no Africa. I'm going to stay here and get lynched and get raped and get firebombed. I can make it right here with you, massa. Then you had those who think the way you claim you think right now, who want their own nation, who want to do their own thing. These people said, the hell with dealing with these races. I'll take a gamble and take the risk. I'll try to do my own thing. I'll try. These are free slaves. These are free people and ex-slaves. They have never created no nation. They don't know nothing about even a community. They don't know nothing. But I'm willing to try. So they went to Liberia, and according to the history of Liberia, they had, just like any nation, it has its ups and its downs. Right now, Liberia is not doing very good, but hey, that's just how it is all over the world. But they are in their country while you still here begging the white man for stuff. One of the things that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and it's very difficult for me to say honorable, because after learning certain things, people just not honorable like the way you thought they was. But that point aside, under the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, he asked, really, you beg the white man for some states, give us some states so that we can call our own, or whatever. You begging. Why should you beg the white man for state? You have the country that was founded by American slaves. The official language is English. They are American people. They are the descendants of American slaves and free people. You have a nation. You don't have to beg the white man for nothing. It's already there available for you to go and you can use it. But you'd rather stay here and beg your massa. The Nation of Islam always talk about separation. The Nation of Islam has never made no attempt. In 1975, the Nation of Islam was worth an estimated $80 million. You are $80 million strong in the 1970s, and you have established no colony. You have made no attempt at all to separate yourself from these races who ain't going to give you a damn thing. You know they're not going to give you no state. You know they're not going to give you no state. But Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan to this day, they live in lavish lifestyles in pink neighborhoods. They live comfortable. They're not trying to move and go and separate and go nowhere. What does this tell you? Now here you are going to call Liberia a bastard nation, and here you are begging to stay in the racist nation that made your people a slave. Your nation already exists. The only thing you have to do, Nation of Islam, your nation already exists. Your nation existed before Wallace Fard appeared in 1930, before Elijah Muhammad. The Liberia existed. If your teachings is supreme, if you have all this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, then why can't you go to Liberia, of whom the descendants are American black folks? Why can't you are an American black folk with supreme wisdom, you claim. Why can't you go to Liberia with your supreme wisdom and make it into what you believe it should be? You have the land. You are in Africa. Everything. Even these pro-black nation builders, they never talk about Liberia. You want to build a nation. Your nation is already there. The only thing you have to do is go and help it become what you believe it should be. But you're going to sit your begging, Negro, comfortable slave self, laying in the jacuzzi, eating bean pies. You're going to sit around here and keep begging, knowing that this cracker ain't going to give you nothing. You already know that. And that would piss me off. You're going to call it a bastard language. I mean, a bastard. You're going to call Liberia a bastard nation. When what do you call, if this cracker gave you land in America, what would that be called? It's the same thing, except the land is within the borders of America. Liberia is in Africa, and that's where y'all claim that's where your ancestors come from. It's a bunch of hypocrisy. Y'all a bunch of fakes. You're confused. You don't know what the hell that you're talking about. You don't even know your own teachings. And so I had to get this off my chest because it's embarrassing. It's pathetic. It's pitiful that you have so many blind followers. You have so many people who actually don't think before they speak. Think before you speak, especially to me, because I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm watching what you're doing. Find somebody on your level. For me, bring the big boys to me, because you can't handle the real truth. You can't. A lot of questions. Check out the video. Mirror the video. Share the video. Stop. Help me get our people. Well, not our people. Help me make us a people. And then help get us up out of this condition. Otherwise, stop complaining. Stop being lazy. Accomplish something in your life. Don't you know that this generation can become the greatest generation that this so-called black people have ever produced? Matter of fact, we could become the greatest dark-skinned people on the planet. Because if you can break the grip of racism, woo, you have done a hell of a thing. If you can break the grip of racism, you will be able to bring into reality the heaven that y'all talk about, and you will enter the hereafter of your Quran. Woo, man. But first you must transform the Negro into a God, because only God has the power to do what I'm talking about. But it's not spooky. Y'all make things all spookified. Wow. Speaking of a generation, there's a generation of pro-black black conscious youth or whatever they want to call themselves, Pan-African, however they want to call it. They so blackity black, black, black on the black, whatever they are. And they sit back and they complain about the elders didn't do this and the elders should have done that and blah, blah, blah. They continue to blame the elders. I am so happy that I never had that attitude. Never. I always respected my elder. I respect my elder. If my elder was a president of a university, I respect my elder. When I saw my elder drunk as a skunk in the ditch, next laying in the street, it didn't make no difference. I respected my elders. I never put down my elders. If my elders was not doing right, they did something wrong, then as I come up, then it's my responsibility to correct and go beyond what they done. Simple as that. I'm not going to sit around talking about the elders should have done this elder should have done that. What was the elders doing for 300, 400 years under slavery? They were slaves. They made no attempt to free themselves. It took a personal war between races to physically free them. They did not do, the elders did not physically free them. So you can't even say that black folks did anything. It was the slave, the racists having a war among themselves that caused you to have the little freedom that you have right now. And you can't even take advantage of it. Because you want to blame, well, the elders, they were slaves and they did that. I'm not going to worry about that. You're in a better position. Let's move forward. But then you have those children. You always have children that believe they know more than their parents. I can do better than my parents. I know more. Here you are, you know more, but you still are you're not a actual physical slave. But you're just as a slave as those who were in chains. Basically the same, you still depend on racists for your food. The car you drive, racists built your car. You bought your car, from a racist company. Racists, the pinks feed you. The degree you have on the wall, I'm Dr. So-and-so, it came from racists. Yeah, so you want to blame your elders. What are you doing any different? So sometimes a parent will give the child a little, give them a little leeway so they can do things their way. Well, since I'm the parent, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, child, here you go. And the child bucks up all arrogant. Says, let me show you how it's done, daddy. Let me show you how it's done, mama. And they look so stupid. You are a child, you don't know nothing. And you think that you know. Listen to your stupid friends. And you're arrogant. So your parents allow you to do a little something and you can't do nothing. And you look stupid. And you're supposed to look stupid. You're a child. No matter how pathetic and pitiful you think that your parent might be, they still are your parents. They've been in the world longer than you have been. You have a long way to go. You don't know nothing. And the little something that you do know is because of your parents. Some of these people, younger folks, they want to blame the elders. You want to include me too. You're an elder, your generation. Yeah, I'm an elder. I am not an old person. I'm what you call middle-aged person. But even so, you can't include me in your mess. Because ain't nobody following me. Nobody taking my suggestions. You can't include me in what these other folks have done. Thousands and millions of people have not taken my suggestion or my advice. You can't blame me for nothing. I don't care if I'm 540 years old. You can't blame me for nothing. You blame those millions who are doing it such a way. I have nothing to do with that. They are losers. They have failed, and that's true. I have no part of it. Because I seen earlier beyond, I seen the error and the flaw. And I seek to correct it. They are insane. They attempt to put a round peg in a square hole and keep doing the same redundant stuff over and over again. Like something's gonna change. You don't blame me for that crap. Ain't nobody doing it my way. In fact, right now, you want to talk about the elders that failed you. There are elders like myself. There are older people right now who think outside of the box of the people the elders that you say that failed them. And you still like that arrogant child. I know better than you. You don't know what you're doing, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you're doing it your way. And since you know it all, you can do better than the elders. You can do better than me. Let's see what y'all doing. You have accomplished nothing. Absolutely nothing. You talk about the elders didn't do this and the elders didn't do that, but everything that you are, you benefit from. Whatever little the elders did do, you benefit from it. You have not created nothing that the elders benefit from what you done. Nothing. You have accomplished nothing. And then this is the sad thing about it. You want to complain about the elders failed and they didn't do this, and the elders failed and they didn't do that. And then you turn around and you're doing, and you think, and you're doing the exact same thing that they done. But for some reason, you're supposed to get a different result. How stupid. That's the most dumb thing. Here you are, you're going to complain about the elders didn't do this and the elders didn't do that, and you are the exact same thing. What are you doing that's different? What your thinking is the same, your actions are the same, but you expect something, you expect a different result. That's what you call insanity. Also, this is the most arrogant thing. The elders. You're an old man. You're an old woman. You don't know. You're an old man. Let me remind you of something. As long as you live, you do not get younger. You get older. And I might be your elder, but you are an elder to my great grandniece and nephew. You are their elders. They are 3-4 years old or whatever. You are their elder. So what are you doing, elder? What are you doing different? So when they come of age, what are you going to do different so they can say, wow, they did better than all the elders? You have accomplished absolutely nothing at all whatsoever. Matter of fact, you keep trying to make mockery of age. Some of you will not become an elder. Some of you will die young. And you will die young because you're stupid. You will die young because you don't know no better. You will die young because you don't learn nothing from the mistakes that your elders make. And even though the elders might not be the most perfect people in the world, they still offer good advice that you can use to help move yourself. But see, you're not doing anything at all. You're not moving at all. You're just running your mouth. And that's what you see on social media. A bunch of, you know what they say, doo-doo talkers. That's all. A bunch of doo-doo talkers. Y'all ain't gonna bust a grape. But your elders in the past, they did. That's why you can live a little better. That's why you can take your silly butt on social media and hide your face and run your mouth. Because of some of the things that some of the elders The majority of the elders didn't do a damn thing. They happy being slaves. That's the reality of the bottom line. Only a few really do something anyway. And you want to talk about the few? And the millions really didn't do nothing. How many people in your family that you know of participated in civil rights, the so-called Black Revolution? Start naming the people in your family. They ain't do nothing. And you just like them. You just run your mouth. Woo, okay. Now I know that what I'm about to say, even though some of you may be used to what comes from this rostrum, you might get a little upset with what the reality of what I'm bringing us. Well, guess what? I guess you're just going to be upset. I guess I have to bring it the way that it really is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I am an adult. I should be able to handle things. I should be able to handle real life. I shouldn't have to, you shouldn't have to sugarcoat nothing for me. You know, it reminds me of children's medicine. They make children's medicine sweet. They make it look like candy. They sugarcoat the medicine so it's easier for the child to take it. But when you are an adult, you know what this medicine is supposed to do for you or whatever. They expect you to be able to handle the medicine exactly the way it is. But you know, lately I've noticed that they make a lot of medicine that is supposed to be for adults. They make it sweet, make it look like candy. Woo! That's probably why a lot of that medicine don't really work like it should, because it's full of sugar. You know, full of sucrose. Woo! Adults, how pathetic have adults become? Really, how pathetic. You know. Anyway, that's not my subject. Welcome to the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am your soul brother. Number one, since nobody else wants to claim the title, I will happily, with great honor, claim the title of soul brother number one. I am the mighty one, Angel Snub number 7. And this is the Reality's Temple on Earth. And this is my, I guess you could say, this is a rant video. And the topic of my rant, the topic that I've chosen for us tonight or today, whenever you get to view this video, should you wish to view this video, should you wish to view this video, because I know, I keep bringing it real. Truth hurts, but if you are an adult, you can handle it. It's better to accept the truth. When it's all said and done, it's more beneficial to you than feeling good. The only thing feeling good does is prolonging you, because eventually you're going to have to face reality as soon as you come out of your high, as soon as you stop being drunk. Sooner or later you're going to have to be sober. You're going to have to deal with reality, or as some people do, they commit suicide. And some of y'all, you may not commit physical suicide, but you find other ways of committing suicide because you just can't handle the truth. The topic that I've chosen, brothers and sisters, soul brothers and sisters, is the fallacy of black unity and Pan-Africanism. Because I put Pan-Africanism and black unity together, the fallacy of it, because Pan-Africanism is based in African black unity, right? Okay, so the key here is unity among the dark-skinned people of this planet, especially coming from the African continent. Now, let me explain, or let me wrap this off real quick, and let me give you the reason of why I'm coming in this direction. Simple. Now, since the 1990s, I have attempted in my own biological, this is biological, there is no doubt, these are my relatives. These are the relatives from my mother, my father, these are my cousins, great cousins, and great uncles, and so forth. These are my biological relatives. I don't have to guess and talk about, well, my ancestors was Native Americans and they came from... These people I'm talking about are not that many generations removed. We know each other. Some of us was born together, things of this nature. These are my biological, or could be your biological relatives. You know this. Since the 1990s, this is 2017, since the 1990s, I took it upon myself, because I believe in what y'all call black unity. Black unity must start in your own house. It must start with your own relatives. Your father, your mother, brothers and sisters, cousins, and aunties and uncles, and so forth. It starts in your own house. How can you talk about black unity, Pan-Africanism, when your own real biological house, you can't get it together? Oh, well, I just spoiled it. I already said it, but I'm going to tell you the story anyway. So since the 1990s, I have made a sincere effort to try to bring us more together, right? You remember back in the day when, I know when I was growing up, you get in a fight with somebody, and that person said, I'm gonna go get my brother and my uncle and my cousin, and you know, you're like, yeah, whatever, blah blah blah. And here they come with their uncle and cousin and brothers and daddies, and you know, all of a sudden here you are by yourself, because you don't have no family like that. And so you got to think of something real quick, like, oh man, I was just joking. That's your brother? Y'all look just alike. That's your cousin? Man, I was just playing with the dude. He thought I wanted to fight him. Oh man, I don't mean no harm. Y'all is real cool. I am so happy to see you. Oh wow. You know, you have to play it off. You don't have no family like that. Families, not too long ago, whether you were right or wrong, they used to stick together. And this is what I meant about the 4 Chicago teenagers, or whatever they were in Chicago, that's supposed to have terrorized the young pink autism child, or whatever he was. Yes, we know that what they done was wrong, but if we see ourselves as family, right or wrong, you stand with your mama. You right or wrong, you stand with your cousin. That's how family do it. Then you take them in the back room, and then you tell them, dude, you messed up. But you don't go out in the public and you know, and put your business all on the street. You with your family. So I made an effort to try to bring my family more together, or whatever, because like most black families, we are dysfunctional. There's no doubt about it. And it just don't work. Nobody really cares. I guess because nobody can leech and nobody benefits. I guess because I can't give somebody $1,000 a month or something. You know, nobody's interested in black unity. No postcards, don't write letters, don't return phone calls, none of that. So you know, I'm done with it. The Jesus of your scripture said, my family are those who are with me. So family does not necessarily mean biological blood, physical blood. And that's the way I feel. If you and I are family, we act, or we are together in this struggle. I view you, even though you are my brother from a different mother, you are more family to me than my biological people are. And what broke the straw that broke the camel's back is when I visited relatives, and they invited us to a barbecue. And these relatives, my biological relatives, they stayed in the house. They barbecued the food, took it in the house. They put us out, me and some other relatives. They put us out in the yard with the mosquitoes and some hungry dogs out in the backyard while they while they did their thing in the house. Left us out in the backyard with dogs and mosquitoes. So, that's the end of, this biological relative thing. I'm not impressed. I don't care. So, having said that, if you can't do nothing with your biological relatives, what the hell you gonna do with all these silly Negroes in America who are not your biological relatives? What you gonna do with these Africans, 52 countries, countless tribes, all types of... How are you going to unite this mess? Number one problem. American black folks, the descendants of slaves born in America, having dark skin, have never been a people. It's a fallacy just to call us a people. We are in groups. The Kemetic group, the Nation of Islam group, the Black Panther group, the Christian group, the Republican group. We never saw ourselves as a people. We have never been united. They let the slaves free, and all the slaves went out and did their own thing. The African people on that continent have never been united. At one time, of course, they were united. Then they started separating and been separated ever since. And even when the crackers, the pink got people started to come over there and mess with them, they still did not see no value in coming together until it was too late. Just like the Native American people. They did not see any type of unification or love for each other against a common enemy until it was too late. So the conclusion is, and the reality is, black unity and Pan-Africanism is a waste of time, and it's a fallacy. The only way you can get all these people together is you must do it by force. Do it by force. Just like parents make you eat your spinach, just like your parents make you go to school, you have to come, those who love Africans, those who love dark-skinned people, you must love them enough to come into power and beat their ass. You must force them to come together. Just like sometimes you have to force biological brothers and sisters to do such and such, to share with one another. You have to become a parent. They have a slave-like mentality. They only respond to power. They only respond to that which they can bow down and look to as a savior and as a leader, somebody that they can worship. They will never, under any other circumstances, willingly, voluntarily on their own, unite. So Pan-Africanism is a fallacy. Black unity in itself is a fallacy. Plus, on top of that, black comes from up out of a racist construct. Black and even African was never created to cause unification. It was created to cause division. And that's exactly what you see in Africa. Nothing but division. That's what you see among American black people in this nation. Nothing but division. So that in itself proves my point. But unlike the other conquerors, unlike the slave masters, you want to force these dark-skinned people together and unite them, not for the purpose of making them slaves, but you want to force them so you can free them. You understand? Force them so they can come into something of their own. You doing it out of love. The same way a parent will spank their children, and it hurts because no parent really wants to bring pain to their child. I'm doing this for your benefit. And when these Africans and when these dark-skinned people, black folks, when they mature, they'll be angry at you at first, even try to fight you. But when they mature, just like that child, the child will grow up and say, now I know why my daddy done that. Now I know why my mama done that. Because they mature. You're dealing with people who have immature, infantile minds. That's why anything can come among you, and there they go. Anything that sounds good, just like you offering children candy, there they go. Anything sweet, anything that feel good, there you go. Peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. We are just being a little casual. I just want to talk a little bit. And I am known, as many of you know, on social media, as your soul brother number one, the mighty one, Angel. Angel Snup Nup 7. With that said, like I am saying, or I have said, I really don't feel like making a video, but I want to talk. This is how it is when I don't really feel like talking, but I want to talk. Y'all know how I do it. I don't have a lot of time, and then when I do have time, I really don't feel like talking or making a video, but I have the time, and I do want to talk, so I just sort of like force myself. So please bear with me. We want to talk about, well, before we actually start getting into the subject, really quickly, I did make a short video lecture, about an hour. The best Savior's Day speech in 2017. You really need to check this video out. If you have not, share the video, mirror the video. To my knowledge, I have placed the video not only here on YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, Facebook, various places, and I know the video lecture has over 1,000 views. 1,000 views may not sound like a lot. It really makes no difference, but it's a litmus test to what I am saying. So I have 1,000 views on this video lecture, and so far, people are solid. They really have no comment. Do you know why they have no comment? It's because when I tell you it's the best Savior's Day speech of 2017, when you listen to what I've said and what I have presented to the people, and you compare it to the thousands and thousands of views that Louis Farrakhan would get, or anybody else, when you compare it, there is no comparison. Because I am on time, and these persons, with all due respect, are out of time. They are out of date. They need to update their software, but they can't, because they're living in a past that no longer exists. So please, when you have time, share the video, watch the video, give me your opinion about what is said. Now, the link is in the description box. So now, I am, as many of you know, I was locked up unjustly in the racist pink crackers criminal system. About 10 years. I got 10 years experience in the lockdown. You have people who are crying about a few months, or maybe they did a year. I was locked down for 10 years. So, and I'm not crying. The only thing I did was do the best I could to defend myself. I'm not crying over it. Not running around here talking about how unjust it was. Because who am I going to cry to? The same suckers that put me in the jail, in the prison, in the mental institution? Makes no sense. However, you have our brother, young Pharaoh, who comes before the people, and he's very upset because I was done unjustly, and I wish to expunge what the cracker done to me. That's all well and good. Now, the problem young Pharaoh have, and I want to tell y'all that I did make an attempt. Now, I will tell you, now, I am a jailhouse lawyer. I have no legal education at all. I have no degree from Harvard, or Yale. My experience with the American criminal justice system was hands-on. I learned through trial and error. And I learned it so well that I was able to get myself up out of their jail, out of their prison, out of their mental institution. In fact, before I was able to get myself up out of their clutches, I was able to file motions and actually help other people regardless to their skin color. Because if it was not for these people, regardless to their skin color, I would not have known nothing. But by helping them, I was helping myself. So here we are. You have young Pharaoh. I sent an email to the address that Sarah Sutton said it was given. And that was maybe 3 weeks, maybe almost a month ago. And I received no response. I asked for unity with the Black Power Cartel and young Pharaoh with this ministry. And I also told them I probably could help them or help young Pharaoh as far as his dealings with the legal system. I received no response, and that's good. It's all good. But I want to say this very quickly. Here you are. You got all this comedic teachings. And we going to London. And we going to New York. And we going to Paris. And we going to Dallas. And we going to wherever. You got all this fantastical information, you say. You can talk about astral projection and how the white man turns into a reptile, and you can see with 3 and 4, 5 third eyes, and you have all this, but you don't know nothing about American law. And so recently I saw the video where young Pharaoh, I guess he's gotten the money so he can get a lawyer. And I want to tell this to all of us dealing in the criminal justice system. It belongs to these crackers. Also, you're dealing with a bunch of lawyers who will listen to me, a bunch of lawyers who will take your money knowing damn well they cannot help you. And I'm telling young Pharaoh and all you who support young Pharaoh that chances are this lawyer of whom he believes can help him can't do a damn thing for him, because to my knowledge, now young Pharaoh is on probation or something to that effect. I would guess, I assume that he's on some type of probation because he has a probation officer. And when people know that you're on probation and have a probation officer, you have people who will call your probation officer some low down son of a umps to try to get you in trouble. So young Pharaoh believes that if he gets his charges expunged or whatever, he believes that he would get off probation. I don't think that's how it works. I don't think, no. You are still under probation. I don't believe that you can get your charges that caused this probation expunged until you are off papers, and at least you show that your behavior or whatever, you go criminal free for a certain amount of years. I believe that this lawyer or whoever it is just stealing and taking young Pharaoh's money. Also, you can probably do it yourself. A lawyer cannot guarantee you nothing. And that's the reason why they will tell you, well, I didn't promise you nothing. The only thing I can do is file the papers. Yeah, but you know that you filed the papers knowing that chances are that the judge will deny your request for an expunge of this man's charges or the charges that was against him. You already know that. You're just going to steal and take this man's money. Now, I believe it is, if you're going to do it yourself, I believe it's what they call a writ of mandamus. That's what you use in order to seek, ask the court to expunge your charges, take those charges off your records. And again, when you file, a judge can still deny you, and you have to wait. I think you can do it once a year, and you just keep doing it or whatever. And maybe one day, 15 years from now, they will take you just can't just go in and think, oh, I'm innocent, and you're going to get your these charges off your record. It's not simple like that. This could take years and years and years. But this also goes to show you have to have right knowledge. You have to have appropriate knowledge in the right situation. So with all your Kemetic teachings, all your aliens coming from outer space and third eyes and all like this, you don't know nothing and have no idea. Young Pharaoh has dealt with the criminal justice system and don't know nothing. Don't know nothing about the law. You know about all this other stuff. About when you die, your body transfers into energy and all this stuff that y'all teach. But you don't know nothing about American law. This is why the Honorable AdMinister Malcolm X. Shabazz told us, by any means necessary. When you're in a fight, and even the master of martial arts, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee taught, it don't make no difference how you win the fight, really, as long as you win. And that's what it's all about. Here you are in a fight. You're going to have to deal with this legal system. You live in America, but you don't know nothing. You're ignorant. So here you got a lawyer that I'm telling you is just going to rob you of your money. It's not going to happen. And you have all these thousands of subscribers and people who look up to you. There are no lawyers. There's nobody who can give you free advice. Free advice. Sarah Sudi and Young Pharaoh, thousands of people, and you don't have no lawyers, nobody who don't know the American criminal system at all. And then I want to try to help you and give you a little advice on how, if you want to try this, how you can do it really for free. You would rather pay money than mess with me, because I don't agree with your philosophy and how you're doing things. But that don't make any difference, because we can compromise. We are brothers in a struggle, but it don't make no difference. And plus, on top of that, I might take some of your fire. See, that's how Negroes are. So you're going to have to pay the consequences. You want to throw your money away? You want to look stupid because that's what you're doing? You're not going to be on probation, and some lawyer is just going to file a paper and the judge just, oh, wow, we see, all of a sudden they see the error in their ways. We're going to expunge these charges. That's not how it works. When you're dealing with the American criminal system, it can take years, and you still may never be successful because you're a nigger and you're a criminal, and that's the way they want you to stay. You should know that. That's the bottom line. But we are filled up with all these feel-good teaching. Comedic stuff makes us feel good. And all the astral projections and third eyes and the spirits, that stuff makes you feel good. But you don't have appropriate knowledge. And until you get appropriate knowledge and know exactly what you're doing, the only thing you're going to be is a black power comedic slave. A third eye having slave. That's the bottom line. Because you don't know how to use all the resources available to you. And you would rather stay ignorant than learn those things because that's above you. But yet you're begging to use the system to get free. Jot down your comments, y'all. Let's talk about it. Peace out. You are in the correct place. In fact, it is the best place. In fact, in the description box, there's a link to the best Savior. I'm so tongue-tied. The best Savior's Day speech of 2017. You need to go to that link, listen to what I have to say, and you tell me, and be honest. Come on, be honest now. Without being biased and prejudiced, you tell me that it is not. When you compare, and if you listen to the speech by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan or Eric Muhammad or the Son of Man or whoever out here that is teaching these Nation of Islam teachings